Hello, testing, testing. Hello, testing, testing. There we go. Okay, I want to change this image here. Since it's the season and all, I thought it'd be good to bring up a spooky image. And while I guess you could say this is spooky, I don't know. It just seems like welcoming in a way. Like, yeah, you could say it's like a little. There's something scary, unnerving about it, but I don't know. Oh wow, look at this. Hold on a minute. Yeah, that is spookiness right there. Alright, spookiness right there. That's cool how I can just like just switch images like that during the stream. Anyway, so I'm gonna start off the video.
So hello
I want to start off this stream with this special video I found. Um, let's see. Let me get everything ready here. I'll do another test. Hello, get everything testing. Ready here. I'll do another test. Hello, get everything testing. Ready here. I'll do another test. Okay. It's weird how that repeats. Alright. No, not Minecraft. Well, yeah, Minecraft. Alright, watch this. Watch this.
गाइस वेलकम बैक टू अनदर क्रीपी पास्ता ऑफ माइनक्राफ्ट। आप लोगों ने बहुत सारे क्रीपी पास्ता सुने होंगे जैसे कि हीरो ब्रांड और एंटिटी 303, लेकिन क्या आप लोगों ने रीप हॉलो के बारे में सुना है? हाँ, इसका नाम है रीप हॉलो और ये दिखने में कुछ ऐसा होता है। हाँ, और अगर ये आपके वर्ल्ड में होगा तब आपके वर्ल्ड में डे और नाइट बहुत जल्दी जल्दी पार होंगे। आपको किसी एक जगह पर बहुत सारे अमाउंट में मशरूम दिख जाएंगे जो कि अब नॉर्मल रहेंगे। आप इसके ऊपर किसी भी वेपन से अटैक कर लो, इसको कोई डैमेज नहीं होगा और इसके पास एक वुडन स्वॉर्ड होती है जो कि आपको बहुत डैमेज पहुंचा सकती है। और अगर वीडियो में एंड तक हो तो वीडियो को लाइक कर देना और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर देना। बाय बाय। सो हेलो गाइस, वेलकम बैक
uh, Here, I'm turn up the volume because that was Hello.
वर्ल्ड में डे और नाइट बहुत जल्दी जल्दी पार होंगे। आपको किसी
Oh no, that was a good volume. Never mind. So yeah,
अनदर क्रीपी पास
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what that guy was saying. Like it sounded like he was speaking English, but then like he started speaking another language. But anyways, I appreciate that short. I do. Uh, because he talks about a certain Minecraft creepypasta called Ripollo. He talks about and I am the author. I'm the author of that Minecraft creepypasta. Believe it or not, I am now. I need to find it though. I need to find it. What the heck? Oh, sorry. I'm on videos. I'm just trying to search it on Google. There we go. All right. So back in, let me give you a little like history lesson, I guess. Here I'll show the screen now. I kind of want to. No, it'll be fine. So back in 2018, I was looking at Minecraft creepypastas. I was looking at this wiki, this fandom website, and I was like, oh man, I want to get in on the fun. I want to create my own scary story, and so I did. I created my account on fandom. Now I do not like fandom. I think it's a website full of ads, as you can see. Like, I know ads are like important to keep a website running, but I mean, it's not just ads. It's like, I'm gonna be honest, I forgot. But like, fandom is notorious. It's known to be a semi notorious website. But that's not the point. Back in 2018, I typed this creepypasta. I typed it on my iPad because I don't know. I didn't have a desktop. I did have a laptop. So I don't know why I used my iPad specifically, but oh wait a minute. Yeah, I used the iPad because my laptop had some of the keys weren't working, and boy was that freaking annoying. Um, yeah. So this stream is going to be me reading this, and yeah. Um, Here we go. Rip Hollow by BWM117. I recently started a new Minecraft world as of 1.7.2, or as some call it, the update that changed the world. That was like my favorite update at the time. Oh yeah, I'm providing like commentary on this too. I'm not just reading it. Um, I was excited for this update because of all the new biomes that were added. The savannas. I actually dislike savannas nowadays. The roofed forests, clay mesas, etc. I was looking forward to exploring these new biomes and having a new fun experience. I spawned in a forest, a birch forest. I was glad I spawned in this biome because it was one of the new ones. I wanted to build my house in this rather peaceful looking biome. The biome wasn't very special like the other ones were, but I didn't really care. I was going to adventure to other places anyways. I do the basic things that you would usually do when starting a new world in Minecraft. I cut down some trees, mine stone, set up a house. While setting up my house, I noticed that it was sunset already. I didn't spend that much time cutting down trees and mining. I mean, daytime can go by quickly in Minecraft, but I don't remember it going by that quick. Hold on, I'm gonna take a drinky drink. Okay, my mic's still on. I decided not to think much of it and went in my shelter and waited out the night. Um, so yeah, this is Rapallo here. That's his Minecraft character model. I made it on I believe I did make it on my iPad too. There's like this website where you can just make skins. Like you don't even download it and make it on put it on your Minecraft character. You just make the skin, and that's what I did. Uh, Rip Hollow is made up of wood and little amounts of metal. It has a crevice going down the torso. It has two small mouths and two blue segmented eyes. Now, if you're any kind of horror expert, you would know that I did make a mistake here. Um, that is like I'm revealing too much about the monster. You know, it's not really scary once you like have a full description of it and like you know revealing it. And also this is a Minecraft creepypasta, so it wasn't really going to be that horrifying in the first place. Community names Rapallo, date of first sighting October 26, 2013. I think that's around the time that this update came out. The update that changed the world. Signs. Well, you know what? This is like this is going to be this is going to be in the story. Trenches, time of day not lasting as long, mushrooms, myceliums, something wrong with the caves, nether mobs acting weird, structures of wood, underground forests, powers. See, this is like oh man, okay, just let me read it first. Resistant to attacks from regular weapons, emitting spears of black smoke, nearly unlimited amount of wood and other natural blocks, has an unusual sword vanishing. So yeah, when I was making this, what I had in mind was not just a horror mob monster, but like something with superpowers, like for like power scaling or something. And yeah, that is cringe. That is cringe. And yeah, a couple years ago, that video I showed in the beginning, that short, um, that's like the first video I believe someone has ever made of this creepypasta. So I'm even though I don't, I'm not familiar with that person, I don't know them, I still greatly appreciate it. Okay, let's continue the story. In the morning, I went out to kill some animals since my food supply wasn't really good so far. While being outside, I decided to go and see what the neighboring biomes were. I decided to keep track of what direction I was going in to make sure I know where to go when going back home. Traveling east, I saw that one of the biomes was just a regular forest biome. Being kind of disappointed on what I found, I went the other way, which is west. Very like I'm some of this is like very obvious. Like I don't need to tell you which is, you know, I went east, so when I say I went the opposite direction, I don't need to like describe the fact that it's west. It wasn't long until I found a roofed forest. I was very happy to see the new biome. I went into the forest, killing some animals for food along the way. I already knew information about this new biome. This biome, the roofed forest, had giant mushrooms. It was possible for hostile mobs to spawn during the day because of how dark it could get. While exploring, I noticed something unusual. There was this streak or tear in the ground. I thought it was going to be an entrance to a cave or even a ravine, but upon closer examination, I was wrong. This tear in the ground appeared to be 12 to 14 blocks long, and it was 1 to 2 blocks deep. I was surprisingly dumbfounded by this, thinking it was a new feature in the game that meant something. I was about to try to dig into the tear in the ground, but then I started to get attacked by mobs. I didn't even notice it was nighttime. I was so distracted, and it seemed so quick like the last time. I rushed home, almost dying on the way. I went to I went to my furnaces, cooked the food I collected from killing the animals. While that was happening, I just stood there, waiting for the food to cook so I can eat and fill my hunger bar. Along with that, I waited out the night again. After waiting, it was finally morning. It seemed that I waited too long. I don't know if that was me being impatient or what, but it was finally morning, which is what mattered. I went outside my house and suddenly my game crashed. Huh. Well, I guess the game crashing should have been added in here. Yeah, you'll notice that, like, I tried to make like a type of build up happen, but it's still not scary. I knew my laptop wasn't the best at handling games, but was it really that bad? I didn't know what to blame, my laptop or the game. I decided to think that the crash was due to a glitch from the new update. I started the game back up and started up the world again. I joined back in the world and everything seemed normal. The only thing that was different was that it wasn't morning. Oh, I looked outside and it looked like it was already going to be sunset soon. The game crashed when it was morning. Why did it change in the game even though it wasn't running? I definitely thought this was some kind of glitch or the game didn't save all my progress. I took the time I had and went chopping down trees for more wood. While collecting more wood, I noticed another tear in the ground. It really wasn't surprising to see another one of these rips in the ground anymore. I looked at this one I looked at this one up close and it was different from the other tear. This tear in the ground was 2 to 3 blocks deep this time, and I was really starting to think this was part of the update. I tried digging in it and was surprised to find a cave beneath this small trench. I fell down the cave and found something even more surprising. Okay, so there's some progress here. Oh, I just noticed this. Attention, new rule for writers. But yeah, you can see some of these entities here, like the timekeeper, Chester, whatever that is. Like you can just say that this is somebody's like powerful original character that they've inserted into a story and want to make them look cool and all that. Um, which I'm not gonna like really make fun of them for. I mean, I guess I did a little bit just now, but I did the same thing. So like, what room do I have to talk? I'm just saying that like a lot of these creepy pastas are kind of like some kind of power fantasy on here. It's not actually really much of a scary story, is it? But it's fine. You know, there was no normal stone in this cave. All of it was coal ore. I was dumbfounded to see this. Was this some kind of phenomenon in the game? I didn't have to go far to realize that this was a really small cave. It wasn't disappointing though, but it kinda scared me. Coal ore doesn't make up an entire cave like that. Being paranoid, I mined some of it as fast as I could mine, and finally, hold on, I mined some of it as fast as I could mine, and finally decided it was a good idea to go back up to the surface. I pillared my way up and instantly got the shit scared out of me when I saw a player running away from me. I freaked out because this was a single player world, and because of that, it was completely abnormal to have another player in this world with me. Wow, no shit. I ran back to my house, ignoring any nearby mobs. I blocked my door when I got home and consistently checked the windows. After that, I took a break from the game. I was trying not to panic and was trying to process what just happened. I was too scared to pay attention to the details of the player. I didn't even see the front of him because he was running the other way. I only saw they had a brownish, grayish skin. That was all I remembered seeing. Man, this is going to take a while, isn't it? Holy crap. Alright, hold on. Break time. That was all I remembered seeing. Okay, I'm back. There's a certain YouTuber I follow that just uploaded, well, multiple of them actually. There's this one Dead by Daylight YouTuber I watch called Little Space Rock. She is like an adorable goth girl. I don't know why I don't know why I had the need to mention that. What the fuck is wrong with me? Anyways, I decided to quit the game for now. I wanted to go take a breather. Before getting off the computer completely, I decided to look up the things I saw in my world and see if it's just a feature added to the game, or if anyone else experienced the same thing I did. I found nothing. I only found people talking about Hero Brine and other Minecraft myths on the forums. A wave of desperation washed over me, being unable to find anything relatable to my situation. I decided to quit and go to bed. A couple days later, I started the game back up. I was scared to play on the world again, but was also kind of excited. I know it may be stupid, but I'm suddenly excited to take on these weird things happening in my game. I reevaluated everything I remembered, and I realized it's not that bad to experience those things in the game. There's something wrong, definitely, but it's just a game. If something bad happens, it will just be in the game, nothing to worry about in real life. Yeah, I like this part here. I do because a lot of things like there's this like silly cliche in gaming creepypastas that like something happens in the game and it like hurts you in real life because of like some bullcrap supernatural phenomenon or whatever. I just think it's ridiculous. Like for example, Godzilla NES, right? I thought that was like a good creepypasta for the most part, but there's that one part like during the finale where the main character realizes that if he gets hurt in the game, he gets hurt in real life, and yeah, it's just dumb. Um, yeah, that story has like a few things wrong with it, but it's fine. I still think it was still an exciting story. But yeah, this I want to remind you that like this is a thing happening in the game, and it's not that big of a deal in real life. I don't need this ad, please go away. I opened up the world and everything seems to be the way it was. However, it looks like that the time of day changed again. Even with me not being in the game, it was still day. I might have made a mistake here. That this doesn't seem to make sense. So I wasn't that scared. I thought about the player I encountered yesterday and came up with an idea. The idea was try to communicate with them in chat. I dreaded doing this, but I built up the courage to do it. I opened up chat and typed hello. I pressed enter. There it was, the message in chat. I waited nervously and patiently, but there was no response. I broke the blocks blocking my door and went outside. I explored the area to search for anything abnormal. I searched around for a bit and found that there was an excessive amount of brown and red mushrooms in fairly here's a mistake. Excessive amount of brown and red mushrooms in fairly small area. The most unusual part is that most of them were exposed to daylight, which was almost impossible for mushrooms to grow while exposed to daylight. That sentence was written weird. What was also unusual was that there was way more than 5 in the area. In case you didn't know, mushrooms spread if there are less than 5 around the area. If there is 5 in the area, the mushrooms won't spread anymore. Like I said, there are way more than 5. I expected to see more weird things, so I decided to write down everything I saw so far. The small trenches or tears in the ground. I gotta like choose a word here. Like I hate that looking back, I don't really like the fact that I kept saying trenches or tears. Like I should just picked a word and stuck with it. A cave made of coal, day and night lasting different times, etc. After writing, I collected all of the mushrooms. I did this because I was afraid they would spread even more and it would get annoying to keep in check. I harvested and collected 26 mushrooms overall. Not really an important detail, but it's whatever. Well, that's another weird thing that happened. What's next? I went back home and my door was open. I don't remember closing my door and instantly thought that my house was being intruded by the player that I encountered earlier. Okay, well, this is another mistake. I don't remember closing my door. Wouldn't it make sense for it to be open? You shouldn't assume that the player infiltrated. Oh well, yeah. This story did not age the best. I did I did remember like looking back and like trying to correct all the grammar and spelling errors, but there's still other things here. I was cautious but went inside. I was thinking about the items that might get stolen. I checked every chest and saw nothing missing. I looked around the rest of my house for anything out of the ordinary. My house was small but still had a lot of corners and spaces to hide in. Oh, did it? Because when I imagine the house in the story, I just imagine it as like a cobblestone shack. I looked at the back of my house and saw a 1 by 2 opening. He was in my house, but escaped. I replaced the blocks and didn't worry about chasing him, since none of my items were stolen. I decided to search the basement and found it almost completely filled with coarse dirt. Fun fact, I read this story to my friend, and when I read this part, he said, "Oh, so he shit in the basement?" That's funny. Good times. I had nothing in my basement yet, so I wasn't worried. I was more confused and scared at this time. I mined out the blocks and went on with my day. Surprisingly, it was still daytime. It seemed like it was lasting longer. Fast forward a few weeks, I haven't seen the player in weeks. Okay. I've been finding more small trenches, tears in the ground, trenches, whatever you want to call them. See, exactly, the story is aware of this too. I tried digging in all of them. Only one of them had another cave like the other one. It was made out of coal ore as usual. At this time in the game, I was rich, kind of. I only found 3 diamonds for a pickaxe. I had a lot of coal and iron at this point, so I didn't bother mining the coal. But there was something else I found weird in these trenches. Every one I found, it was facing east or west. I never found one facing north or south. So, yeah, this is a strange detail that I added. I don't know like what significance it contributed. I wish if I wrote this again, I would like actually have this be, actually mean something. But I'm afraid it doesn't. I'm afraid it doesn't mean anything. It's just a weird detail that I thought was important enough to include. Yikes. I'm sorry. I constantly check if OBS is like on. I have to check to make sure the display capture is actually on. Fast forward another week and I spotted the player again. Again. Oh yeah. I saw him at the edge of the roofed forest while I was fighting mobs at night. He was standing and facing a different direction, but I was still able to see his face and front side. I couldn't make it out completely, but he had some kind of black crevice going down the top of his torso. Yes. And went down onto his right leg or something. The only thing I saw in his face were 2 dreary looking eyes, like 2 jagged segments. They were completely blue and unnatural looking. I walked a little closer to observe more. I was probably about 20 blocks away from him. I saw more of his skin. It was mocha brown, but was a little gray in areas, especially his back. Okay, well you're facing his front, so like why would you? Yeah, it's a little. This story is far from perfect, people. The texture of his skin looked like the texture of wooden logs and maybe even grass. The player remained idle for a few more seconds. Then, with sudden haste, he started to build. I was starting to get scared. I started to get scared and was afraid of getting seen, so I hid behind a tree. He was using dark oak logs because he was in the roofed forest to build up a wall. I then started to get attacked by more monsters. I fought them off and thankfully he didn't notice. Or I fought them and he didn't notice, thankfully. That's strange how he didn't notice. I, I don't know, I'm just assuming like right now, like he knows the main character is there, but he's like Rapallo isn't doing anything. You know? Oh man. Yeah, this may be a stream, but I'm treating it more as a video, I guess. I don't know. I continued watching him as if he continued building in a slightly peculiar way. I saw some mobs walk past the player and they didn't attack each other. I was getting the feeling that this guy was in creative mood. I wanted to try to do something and I did. I typed in chat and said, "Hello, are you in creative mood?" His reaction was suspicious. I saw him looking around everywhere, and I hid behind the tree, probably just on time. I went in third person mode to try to see him with little movement. He kept looking around and then he hit the air, which caused a big spear of black smoke. The smoke stayed for a bit and got bigger, but faded away. I was dumbfounded by this. I, I used the word dumbfounded like strangely a lot in this story, don't I? I think it was like I think it was like a new word that I discovered, or just was like, oh man, if I use long words, they're gonna think I'm smart. Oh boy. Did he teleport, or he created a smoke screen to make it look like he had vanished? I rushed back home and was scared and excited because of what I just saw, and that the fact that I was a spy. Team Fortress music plays. I got addicted to this game after that experience. I was trying to find any more weird structures in this world. I only found more trenches and more huge groups of mushrooms. Nothing new. I did find a group of ferns in one area, in the regular forest next to the birch forest I live in, but I think that was just a regular natural thing. Yet ferns were like kind of rare back then. Like I think they were somewhat common in beta Minecraft, but I don't know. I remember them like being very rare to find. Like you just don't see them in forests anymore. I think they only spawn in like taigas now. I don't know. I think they were somewhat rare in beta. Man, I remember watching my friends play Minecraft like a long time ago before I ever got the game and we discovered ferns. Man, beta Minecraft, it's not just the fact that it was beta, but just the fact that like we were young and we didn't know much about the game. It was like so wondrous. It was so wondrous. Nothing new, but I think that was a regular natural thing. It became nighttime, so I ran back home and went to bed. Nothing interesting really happened after that. I had to stop playing the game for a while. I was addicted to it, but was forced to stop because it was affecting my time to study for school-related things. I barely played any video games for about a month or so. I got bored, but I was glad I took the long break. My eyes needed it. Oh boy, another picture. I was going back onto Minecraft again. I went onto the same world. I didn't even think about the mysterious player I encountered. I went mining and got obsidian, just enough for a nether portal. I decided to build it about 10 blocks away from my house so the noise from the portal wouldn't annoy me. I built the portal and placed the last block for it. Okay. Um, I went inside to craft a flint and steel when unexpectedly someone in chat showed a message. I got startled when the message showed up. The message saying, "Stop." I looked at the username that typed it in the chat. The username was Rip Hollow. The name by itself was intimidating. Not really. But the fact that he was able to chat was scarier. Are you sure? I expected this to be the player I encountered previously. Who else would it be? With hesitation, I typed, "Who are you?" A few seconds later, no response. I typed in chat again, "Who are you?" No response. I started to get annoyed instead of being scared. After a few seconds of waiting, I crafted the flint and steel and lit the portal. I looked around to see if he was watching, because I assumed he was watching me and wanted me to stop building the portal. Duh. Out in the distance, I could see a glimpse of the player running into the roofed forest. I decided to chase after him, or Rapallo. I guess I should call him that from now on. Gosh, my voice is like getting ducked. It's getting ducked. Yeah, I got soda here with me, so I really don't know. I was obsessed with like showing off the character model. So like as we'll see here, we'll see more pictures of him. Like here's the right side of his body, even though it's still showing mostly his front. Let's see. As I run closer and closer to the roofed forest, I see that he had built more when I was gone. There were multiple houses in the forest. It looked like a really small village. Three houses were lined up next to each other. Across from that were three more houses lined up next to each other. In between was a path made of podzol and cobblestone. I was really intrigued by this build and went to the forest to confront Rapallo. I walked into the village and saw that there was even a farm too. Oh, I don't remember that part. Anyways, I look in each house and found nothing. I look around, I actually found him standing a chunk away from me, standing next to a giant mushroom. He was staring straight at me. I typed in chat, "Stop what?" Then he pulled out a an unfamiliar looking sword that looked like it was made of stone or iron. Yeah, see, this is one of like the edgy OC things, like having a cool sword, unique weapon kind of thing. He approaches me at fast speed. I sprinted out of that village as fast as I could, hoping he wouldn't follow me. I turned around and saw him standing at the edge of the village. I could have fought him, but I didn't have any armor, and the fact that this player shouldn't even be in my world since it's single player. I went back home and made some armor with the iron I had. I went to the nether and got lucky and spawned on a nether fortress. I took this opportunity and quickly went in and killed some wither skeletons, blazes, etc. I noticed that some of the nether mobs were acting weird. There were two blazes that were looking downward and were twitching. Oh, I don't remember this part. There was a wither skeleton that was pacing back and forth, but once I got too close, it started to attack. It seemed more aggressive, or maybe it's just me, but it definitely went faster than other wither skeletons. I found this magma cube that stayed idle and didn't jump at all. Oh yeah, that's something you actually encounter in Minecraft. Like, if it's like lagging, the magma cubes just sit there and they don't jump for a while. It's weird. Besides the wither skeleton, these mobs ignored my presence. Oh, I didn't know what to think of it, but then I thought of Rapallo. Is he causing this? I found some nether wart in the fortress and harvested it. I got the soul sand too. I killed some more blazes and magma cubes. I ran back to the portal and went through. I was hasty during this mission because since Rapallo can be hostile, I was afraid he was going to try raiding my house or something. On the other side of the portal, it was completely blocked with dirt, coarse dirt, and plant-related blocks. I mined my way out and checked for anything missing in my house. Nothing was missing. Everything seemed fine except for the portal being blocked. I decided to be less paranoid and focused on progressing. I made a nether wart farm outside almost right next to my house. Interesting. I decided to go mining while they grew. I thought going on a mining trip would help me calm down. It kind of worked, or so I thought. I started finding weird things underground. Oh, cool. First, I found a lot First I found a lot of mushrooms, like I did on the surface. I was starting to feel unsettled again. I explored more, and there was this section of the cave that had mycelium on the floor instead of regular stone. There was a section with coarse dirt and podzol with flowers and other plants growing on it. I suspected this to be Rip Hollow, of course. I could tell this player liked plants. Well, I already knew. All these things that this player was doing seemed pretty harmless, but he did chase me with a sword, so getting prepared to fight him seemed like a good idea to me. I was in his territory before, so I don't blame him for chasing me away, but he has gone into my house before, so he could have attacked. I wasn't in the mines for long until I decided to go back up. Didn't really get anything except for coal and iron. Most of the nether wart grew. I used it to make potions after that. I thought I was ready to face him. I felt like an overconfident CIA agent. Okay. Yeah, there's stuff in this story that I don't remember. Like, I forgot about the part where, like, the nether mobs were acting weird. I forgot he even went to the nether. Like, I know the nether portal and mobs had to do with the story, but still. I ran out the door. I approached the roofed forest expecting to see him there. Oh, I'm getting a blast of texts on my phone. I approached the roofed forest expecting to see him there. I saw him. He was inside that village he had built. Look at this. I saw him. He was inside the village he built. I saw him. He was at the end of the path. Oh man, that's cringy. That's cringy right there. I need to like fix that. Oh, someone's got crabs. And I'm not talking about the STD. I can see the brown on his skin had turned into a more umber color. Huh. Interesting. Darker brown than before. He started to approach. I got my potions ready. I felt like I was fighting a boss now. I was going to fight Rip Hollow. I sprint, mashing the keys on my keyboard. I spam click him with my sword. He didn't take any damage. He took it like it was barely anything. He never got knocked back once. He did damage me, however. I got knocked back a few blocks and he didn't even use the sword to do it. It took about 1 heart of damage. I could still try. I tried to hit him again. I barely prevailed. I heard some kind of sound come from him. It sounded like a sound of a door being broken down. You know, like how zombies try to break doors. He knocked me back again. Once again, I didn't take much damage. I decided to pull out a splash potion of harming and I threw it at him. It actually looked like he took damage. The breaking sound came from him again, and he walked back a few steps. Despite the flinching, he got more aggressive. He pulled out the unusual sword he had and ran at me. I feel like this can be like used as some kind of sex joke. Unusual sword. Nah, I just have a dirty mind. I ran at him too, and he started to do a lot more damage. I retreated some distance and used a healing potion. He's still in pursuit and hits me again. I took like 3 to 4 hearts of damage. I couldn't really tell because I was trying to run home as soon as possible. Something popped up in chat. Rip Hollow talked again. Ah, the texts are continuing. He said, get rid of it. Was he talking about the nether portal? I decided to ignore it because I was getting ready to fight. No, you were retreating. I arrived at my house and then waited for him. I had 2 more potions left, a harming potion and a healing potion. I waited and only a few seconds and there he was, running at me. I began to charge, but saw that he went over the soul sand of my nether wart farm to get to me. He instantly started to get hurt when he stepped on that soul sand. The door breaking sound. Breaking, I spelt that wrong. The door breaking sound happened rapidly too. I realized that he had a weakness. It was nether related things. Or maybe only soul sand. I took this opportunity and threw the harming potion at him. He took even more damage. I could tell. He backs up and looks at the nether portal. I want to attack him again, but had no other potions left. He was idle, looking at the portal. I went into my house and got some nether-based blocks, and I got back outside, and all of a sudden, I see a horde of wither skeletons and blazes that have emerged from the nether portal. Most of the wither skeletons chased Rapallo back through the other way and back towards the roofed forest. I fought the ones that attacked me. The blazes all shot fireballs simultaneously, creating a lot of lag. I used my remaining healing potion. No more potions now. I fought one or two blazes, but it got chaotic. The forest and my house were burning down. I assumed his house was made of cobblestone, but okay. That was just like what I was thinking of. Um, and I could see wither skeletons in the distance near the roofed forest that Rapallo ran to. I want to see what would happen at the roofed forest. I didn't care about the fire nor the blazes anymore. I sprinted to the roofed forest as more fireballs from the blazes zipped by me and caused more fire. I ran I ran the edge of the roofed forest and saw wither skeletons patrolling the village that Rapallo had made. Oh man, if I had the password to my account, I would sign in and like start correcting stuff. I don't feel like it though. The roofed forest had caught fire too due to the blazes. I stormed in, fought the wither skeletons as fast as possible to put the fire out. Well, I mean, when a forest catches fire, in Minecraft, it's pretty hard to put it out once a lot of blocks are on fire. I stormed in, fought the wither skeletons to put the fire out. I caught on fire and got wither effect, nearly dying. I had to run away and hide for a few seconds. I went back and killed the rest of the wither skeletons. At this point, the forest fire was huge. The village was burning and almost completely destroyed. I saw a glimpse of Rapallo simultaneously running and burning from the fire. He ran deeper into the forest. I didn't bother trying to put out any fires anymore at this point. The fire was too big and chasing Rapallo was now my objective. It kind of already was. I ran into the forest going the same way he had went, deeper into the forest. No one was found. I looked around, he wasn't anywhere. I found something rather cool but ominous. Oh, is this... yeah, this is like the climax of the story, I just realized. Um, yeah. The fire was too big and chasing Rapallo was now my objective. It kind of already was. I ran into the forest, going the same way he had went. Deeper into the forest, no one was found. I looked around, he wasn't anywhere. I found something rather cool but ominous. It was a fairly large hole in the ground. I didn't even have to go in before seeing the biggest underground space I've ever seen in Minecraft. Okay, it was an underground forest. Most of the trees were dark oak, but I saw some oak trees, birch trees, and giant mushrooms. This went from scary to amazing. My eyes too. My eyes and my throat are like strained. The problem was that it was a fairly large drop down. If this is where Rip Hollow went, then I would have a lot more searching to do. I went around the hole looking for him. I didn't know if he went underground or was still on the surface. The forests were too big. My mission to find and kill him was failing quickly. I ran back through the other direction, trying to look everywhere. I was hasty. I thought of those caves in the trenches. I went to the ones that I remembered exploring before. Nothing. I looked, found nothing, and went back to the surface. I then realized it was sunset. I rushed back to my house to stay inside to avoid monsters. Well, I mean, your house burnt down, so yeah. I also wanted to see if Rapallo was there. I made it home safely. The blazes had despawned. Nobody was in my house. It's like he just disappeared in the forest. He probably retreated to that underground forest. Yeah, no shit. I decided to cancel my mission of hunting him down and killing him. Finding him would just be an annoying task at this point. I calmed myself and decided to quit the game. And, of course we got a picture of the back here. I just gotta show every detail, guys. And yeah, this is like the bits of metal sticking out of him. The next day, I got onto the world and things were okay so far. I went to the roofed forest and saw that the fire was gone. It had just stopped. I didn't even see it happen. It was just not there anymore. Most of the village that Rapallo built was highly degraded, but strangely, almost the whole place seemed to be littered with leaves. They were spruce leaves. Okay. Oh my gosh, imagine if I was like muted this whole time. That would be hell. Like, that would be horrible. I didn't know what this meant, but I decided to leave it alone. I never seen the player Rapallo ever since. I just played the game normally from now on. I was done. Everything seemed to calm down. I have came across more trenches or tears in the ground, and some patches of mycelium or coarse dirt, but not as often as before. I just continued to play the game regularly. Everything seemed to be normal again. However, at rare occasions I could swear I saw a glimpse of Rapallo moving or just standing in the corner of my eye. I don't know if I'll have another abnormal interaction ever again. Time will tell. After all, I still didn't explore that underground forest yet. End. Holy crap, that was a ride. My god, my voice, I can like feel my throat just like drying and cracking and uh deserting. Hold on a minute. So yeah, my narration skills, I don't know how good they are. I hope it was bearable enough. And yep, this is the end. Author notes. I was into Minecraft Creepypasta and myths for some time. I was inspired to make this surprisingly long story by the original Herobrine story and community interpretations of the other Minecraft characters like Entity 303 or Null. I am open to criticism, I think. I do not mean to copy anybody. If you think I copied off of someone, please tell me and I'll try to make a compromise. Anyways, thanks for reading. Yeah, I was scared that like I would accidentally copy someone. And yeah, let's see. 9 comments. Yes. Oh shit. Can I read the comments? Oh damn. All right, hold on a minute. I'm gonna see if I can sign in. While I look, I'll talk about something. You guys you know SML, right? They had made a new video about Curious George, that stupid baby show. I mean, it's one of the better baby shows actually. Like it's actually like not that annoying. It's like better than other ones. But anyways, like in that video, they reference Yellow Pages, that like old book that we used to use to get certain phone numbers. It's like, wow. That's yeah, I haven't heard of Yellow Pages in a long time. I remember seeing a book of Yellow Pages. I forgot why, but yeah, that was like a blast of the past right there. Son of a glitch, people. I'm not sure if I have my account info. Yeah, it's always important to like write down your account information and keep it safe somewhere. Because if you have like a bunch of accounts, like you're eventually gonna forget. You're gonna forget some of the passwords. So you know, dang it, I thought it was in here somewhere. Oh gosh, Tumblr. No. Well, crap. It looks like I don't know my fandom account. Dang it. That really sucks. Hold on, I'm looking again. This is like it's all jumbled up. Yeah, sorting things neatly is also important. Or at least important things that are like, yeah. Do you guys remember Full House? I miss Full House. Alright, I'm just gonna try and sign in. Let's see, display capture is off. Sauce. Dang. I was banned for drawing a pony. Were you? Let's see. Okay, hold on. What's... Oh, dang it. You know what? I'm not gonna make a fandom account. Like, I did have a fandom account, but I don't want to make another one, you know? Um, I'm sure the comments are nice. I remember receiving a few comments. Someone, like, gave it, like, a 9 out of 10 or something. But, yeah, yeah, so, what else is there to say? There are two, sequels to it. I'll show you that. Okay, now, this second model I made, I like it a lot better. But I will say, this second story, uh, it has a lot of, like, mistakes, and errors, and I'd say it's worse than the first one. Metallic Leaves, the official sequel to Rip Hollow by BWM117. The original Rip Hollow was more. Oh yeah, like in the original story, it described how Rip Hollow's skin was getting darker, like it was like hardening or something. And yeah, this is it. He's like changed. He's mutated something. Lighter color and different eyes. Oh yeah, the original Rapallo was more lighter and darker with different eyes. This version is darker. It is unknown if there's two different versions of Rapallo or if Rapallo is changing. Ah, it's like a mystery kind of thing. I don't know. Um, Community names: Woodland Master or Rapallo. Yeah, Woodland refers to like the Woodland mansions. So yeah. Let's see. Dark oak trees in places where they shouldn't be. Um, Throws enchanted coarse dirt that explodes into mounds. Instant sapling growth. Yeah, I like that one. Speed resistant to most weapons. Yep, summoning woodland monsters. So the woodland monsters, at least that's what I imagine. I'm pretty sure were like clones of Rapallo, except they were weaker and they weren't as obviously they weren't as strong as him, but they didn't have like the same eyes or crevice. They were made of like wood, and they had like normal looking eyes, except they were fully blue. Like his eyes are blue because of lapis lazuli. That's like what I was thinking of. It doesn't. I don't think it mentions lapis lazuli though. I remember when I made the sequel, like there was someone that was like really excited for it because I was like I made a public post on here saying, "Hey guys, should I make a sequel?" And someone said, "Yeah, sure." So yeah, data first sighting 2017 versions, any Minecraft versions past 2016. Wait, can we look at the date that history? Oh, okay, so this was made the same year as the original Rip Hollow. Yeah, I released the first Rip Hollow story. I released it like in January, I think, or sometime like that. Catechism? Yeah, so this one takes place in a server. And I think some of the people in this story are like based on real people I've met in multiplayer. So yeah, um, I'm not gonna read this one. Like I said, I think it's like actually worse than the original. I'm still glad I made it though. People seem to like it. Uh, Hold on, let me go back to the original site, the original story, because it has like tags. It has tags that you can see. Each like page, each story has like tags at the very bottom to like tell you like what the story is like about. Oh, categories. Oh crap! So I can't see the freaking category. Oh my gosh! I remember it. I remember it being like something like plants, nether, forests, trees. Like tags like that. So yeah. Now this story I have something funny. Unfortunately, I can't show it because I'm not signed in. Oh yeah, here's the different views because I have to show that for some reason. Oh look, he has a hole in his back too. Whoa. What the heck are these images? Um, yeah, like the metal part sticking out of him is like way less obvious. It's like more blended into his body. Doesn't even look like metal that much. Yeah, I find it pretty I find it pretty funny how years later Mojang would add the warden, and one of the like the cut mobs they're going to make him be is called the Hollowed. I find that kind of funny. Um, yeah, Summer Mika, AGF Fox 90, Catechism. These are like all names I made up, but they're like roughly based on like real usernames. I remember being on this one server. Like I started out in this like snowy area, and there's like a hotel we all lived in, and then I moved to the desert, and one of the moderators would like check up on us. He was a friendly guy or girl. Um, I found like a sponge on that server, and the plugin made it work like how it used to in old Minecraft, like really old Minecraft. That was a long time ago. And then there was another server I played on. It was like a PvP server, and I found there was like a few people like I got into rivalries with. There was this one person called MVP something like Pubba or like MVP Pubba something like that. It was like a pug in a tuxedo skin, and yeah, like we got like violent with each other, like or at least I did. I remember like getting killed a lot by him, and like I would like try to find him and get revenge. It was like this PvP thing in like this broken down castle. It was a good map. Unfortunately, it was on like a Skyda's Minecraft server, so yeah, that that's not the best server, but I'm still glad I played and had those memories. Um, yeah, I met like someone named Summer Mirror on there, and she was a friendly person. Um, yeah, and then I played on this another server where like we all lived in like this small villagey, not even small, but like this village area. But unfortunately, one day like I couldn't like get back on the server because of like the lag, and I tried to say, "Hey guys, something's going on here." I tried typing that in chat, and it's like, yeah, I couldn't connect to the server after that. So, sorry about my ramblings. I'll try to summarize like what I remember from this. Um, so the main character is a different guy from the previous story. He got a new computer for Christmas, I think. He joins this server called Forfeit for Fight. Stupid name. I don't know why I thought of that. Um, he meets these people. There were the trenches start happening. People are like wondering what the duck happened. Uh, yeah, there's like a lot of clutter in this story. It also like like shows dialogue. Uh, I don't know why I disabled the display capture. Um, yeah, just a lot of like boringness. I don't remember a whole lot, but there is like a climactic part where they find an underground forest, and they all go down there to try to fight Rip Hollow, and like he summons his minions like I mentioned earlier, and they fight. And the trees had like glowstone in it, so that's how you could see underground. After that though, I don't know. Yeah, I tried to make the dialogue like realistic, just like very simple sentences. the faces being used, the emoticons. I hear thunder. Holy crap. Okay. If you want to come check it out, it's called Metallic Leaves. Like I said, it's the second long pastas sequels. Okay, so these are some of the tags. I remember um there was one tag on the story that said needs to be needs to have spelling corrected or something. Like it was something like very cynical, I guess. Or something that was like rude but true. Like saying that, oh, I need to like go through this story and correct the grammar and spelling errors, you know. So yeah. So there is one more story after this. One day I was thinking back to these stories, right? And I was thinking, wow, I don't like the way Metallic Leaves turned out, you know? Uh, oh yeah, by the way, let me show you the tags for this in creepypasta, entities, glitches, moderate length pastas. I really wish I could see the comments because I remember like I really liked the comments. They were nice. They were nice. So yeah, I decided to make a third story that was not a reboot, but it's like something related to the original. Like it's still like a sequel. Oh yeah, also by the way, in Metallic Leaves, the second one, um, the that main character meets the main character from the previous story, and his name is Matthew. Um, Not the most important detail, but I knew someone in real life named Matthew, and I was thinking of him when I made it. Uh, it's weird, but I don't know. I just had like something, I don't know, some kind of like fixation. Like when I make a character in a story, it has to be based off of a real person. It was like that kind of thing. Yeah, I hope that doesn't come off as creepy. Um, yeah, I like both designs of the character. Um, let's see. All Minecraft creepypasta with 3 friends. Shut up, clickbait videos. The Old Hollow, a Minecraft tale number 3. Huh. It's like some kind of tree in the thumbnail. Hold on, trying to find it. Oh, you know what? I can look on my profile, I think, right? And just look for it. Look for, because I have like a list of stories. Like I remember you can have like a blog section on your account here, and I think that's what I did. Oh yeah, there's like a reminder here that please keep all comments on topic related to the article. All pastas are completely fictional, so please do not post comments about them being real. Thank you. And I saw someone talk about how that ruins the immersion of the story, but the problem is there's like a lot of kids that like use this website, so like they're gonna believe that it's real, and like some are not as skeptical. I think a lot of people like know better nowadays, especially with modern Minecraft. Things that just aren't as mysterious as they used to be. All right, I'm trying to. Okay, Rip Hollow 3. Here it is. Yes. So I might read it. Oh my gosh, I almost stopped the stream. Um, Supernatural entities, players. I might. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to read it. It's. Oh wow, this was in July of 2019. Okay. So this was all before COVID. Yup, we're doing this again. I was aware that like, making yet another story about this is like not the best idea. Let's see how long it is. I'd say it's roughly the same length as the first one. The second one was like a bit ridiculously long. Was there any comments on this? No, there wasn't. Hmm. All right, so I guess I'll read this for another stream. Yeah. So I'll just give off a few trivias. When I made the first story, uh, while I was working on it, it was like near its completion. I read it to one of my friends on the PlayStation 4. I still played that a lot. I read it to him, and he kind of liked it, but I remember him saying like he doesn't find it scary at all, and I was okay with that. Like I kept my confidence, you know. Um, that guy, I had a falling out with him, so we were not friends anymore. But like I have my regrets. I have my regrets. It's my fault, I believe. I don't know why I mentioned that. I didn't need to mention that. What the Anyways, yeah. So I believe I made all three of these stories on my iPad and just posted them to fandom. Um, yeah, it's amazing how I figured that out. Oh, you know what? Maybe my iPad holds the answers I need. Man, I have a bad habit. I need to stop. Um, let's see. I have my notes here. Yep. When I opened it, it had Rip Hollow 3 on here. That's hilarious. If the butterfly effect is true, then there is a universe where you made all the right decisions and you lived a perfectly good life. Yep. Um. Oh, cool, Kaz. Sorry, I'm. Hmm. Yeah. Uh. I can't find it. Sorry, people. I thought I was going to be able to sign into my fandom account and see the comments. If anyone here watching, like, has a fandom account, God forbid, um, I would appreciate it if you, like, like, left a comment saying what the comment said, or something like that. Or maybe someone else can read it on their channel and just show the comments. Um, yeah, anyways, I guess that's it. I might stream later tonight, I'm not sure. Have a good night, all. I was gonna, like, play Dungeons and Donkeys and other games, but, my eyes and throat are tired, so, yeah. Bye-byes.